Welcome to GAD World. We're here in Dublin with Jamie Doyle, Managing Director at NatWest. Jamie, Thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure.
Tell us, what are the new challenges for the financial industry? What are on the horizon for 2020?
Sure. Well, I think if I kind of take a step back at our kind of broader institution and kind of NatWest and the RBS group as a whole, I think it's actually quite timely here as we are here today. We just got a new CEO on the 1st of November, and one of her top 3 priorities that she announced on her first day in the job was how we can help tackle climate change as an institution, and actually taking it on us as a financial institution as to how we play our part in tackling climate change and the broader ESG agenda. And even beyond that, when we hear our CFO speak, and she's the one who's having the interaction with our institutional investor base and our shareholders. Now, we're obviously still a majority UK government-owned bank. We're in the middle of Brexit, but still ESG-related issues is numbered in the top 3 things that she's asked by that. So as a kind of holistic financial institution, it's absolutely at the top of our agenda. And what that means is we need to work towards how we can, as an institution, deploy our capital in a sustainable way, which means that we need to look at the ESG across all of our clients that we work with. We need to make difficult decisions. Clients who have been with us for a number of years, if they're not in that kind of forward-thinking mentality, sometimes we have to stop supporting them. We've already seen that. We were one of the first UK banks to stop funding the coal industry a number of years ago in the kind of coal power projects. Now, that's now become the market norm, but that was in a very short space of time, and what we need to do is work with our clients in other industries which might in and of themselves be presenting themselves as kind of carbon neutral and positive. Those industries which have adjacencies to other ESG concerns is very much at the forefront of what we have to consider.
As you say, it's a really positive change, isn't it?
It is, yes.
So how is this ESG pressure changing or impacting how you evaluate your bankable projects or deals?
Sure. Well, I mean, as debt people, we're inherently quite conservative. I know we've had a lot of talk today from a number of the owners and operators around the kind of growth trajectory and passenger numbers, but we can't ignore the impact of Extinction Rebellion, flight shaming. We're seeing that as a kind of big topic coming up, and the kind of changing demographics. The new generation aren't, the propensity to travel isn't the same propensity to fly, certainly. And what we need to do is look at the growth projections. We're long-term lenders. We've been a partner to the airline industry for a number of years, and we've helped airports raise over 35 billion euros over the last 7 years. We want to keep that going for the next 7 years, but it needs to be done in a sustainable way, and we need to be helping our clients to see the best way through that, and to be able to kind of attract the biggest pool of liquidity.
And how is this going to impact airports in the short and the long term?
Sure. So, I mean, if we take a step back to when if you think about kind of green financing, we've had kind of green bonds. That market's grown since 2015 from about $50 billion annually to projected to be $250 billion this year. The kind of sustainable loan market has grown from sort of 10 billion 2 years ago to be potentially over 80 billion this year. So the market has grown hugely. Now, when that started, it was largely a marketing exercise for a number of people. It was a nice badge to have on the corporate. That's great, but now what we've seen is the recent developments has actually had cost savings for people. Now, as we look forward to what's going to happen in the future, it could very well be a situation where we've went from marketing to actually cost saving for people hitting their targets and doing that. So it could be quite binary in the future, and if you don't demonstrate the right credentials in this ESG area, it could be there's no liquidity for you at all from the debt markets, because banks like ourselves, the kind of institutional debt funds and pension funds, just aren't in a position to deploy capital with those assets.
So what advice would you give your clients on this subject?
So, I mean, our role at a bank is essentially twofold. We've got to deploy our own capital, and we've got to advise our clients on the best way to raise capital from third parties. In both circumstances, the best way to do that is to attract the deepest pool of liquidity. How do you attract the deepest pool of liquidity? It's by making sure that you're not turning off your asset to investment from any means. Now, the best way to do that is to be right at the forefront of the ESG agenda and make sure that you're not having sustainable investors unwilling or unable to invest in your business. We've seen some great examples today. We heard from Nicolas at Vancy around the carbon neutrality of Lyon Gatwick Airport, but it's not really marketed in the same way. We still have a third of the green bond issuance comes from the energy sector. We've got less than 12% from transport as a whole. So there really is a long way for the airport sector to go, and my advice would be that they need to kind of get ahead of this and make sure that they are making sure they have access to as much liquidity as possible.
Jamie, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.